Okay, I've hit it. Good morning, everybody. Wanted to come on and talk to you about what's happening and why I'm not in Washington today, why most members of Congress left town yesterday, and why we're not doing anything for the American people. So September 30th, I'm sure you've seen all over the news, September 30th is the funding deadline that Congress has to finish all of our appropriation bills, finish our budget, and fund the government. And we aren't getting that done. And it's very frustrating to all of us, every single one of us, that we're not getting that done. But I'm particularly frustrated today. We went home for August recess. We should have stayed in Washington working to get our appropriation bills done, but we didn't. We went on August recess, and that's when we're supposed to go back to our districts and get work done in our districts. That's what we did. But we should have stayed in Washington and funded the government and gotten all the work done, hammering out the details. But we have 12 separate appropriation bills. We only had one pass before we went home in August. Now we have 11 left. Well, yesterday, in case you didn't see the news or don't know what happened, while President Zelensky from Ukraine was in Washington begging for more American people's taxpayer dollars, while our border is being invaded at record levels, and while the Biden administration has welcomed everyone to America illegally, we were not able to get our bills done. So yesterday they decided to bring the defense bill to the floor. And I want to be very clear with all of you. All week long, as a matter of fact, all year long, I have told every single one of my colleagues, I have told the press, I have told my district, I've posted on social media 1,000 times, I am not voting for one single penny to go to a war in Ukraine. I'm America first. I work for the United States of America. I work for the American people. Our border is being overrun, and we have a president in the United States and an administration that is happy and fine with open borders and is bringing in more illegal aliens into America than we can possibly handle. New York is being crushed. Texas has been crushed for a long time. California, Arizona, Georgia, Alaska, you name it, all over the country, these illegal aliens are coming into our country. So they bring a defense bill to the floor yesterday that had $300 million for Ukraine in it. I told them all week long, I'm not voting for $300 million for Ukraine. Take the money out, put it in a separate bill if you want to, and then I can vote no, other members can vote no, and if you people want to vote to send more money, more American tax dollars to a war in Ukraine, then you vote yes for it. But I'm not doing it. And they didn't listen. They didn't respect me. They didn't respect other members that were saying the same thing. So they brought the defense bill, the defense appropriation bill, which, by the way, is largely a very good bill. A bill that I want to vote for without the Ukraine money. I would love to vote for that bill without the Ukraine money. But no, they didn't take it out. So they brought it to the floor for a vote, and I voted no to the rule. I voted no to the rule. And so guess what? It didn't pass. The rule did not pass, and the bill couldn't be brought to the floor. So we couldn't even pass the appropriations bill. And then they called me and said, Marjorie, will you vote for it if we take it out? I said, that's what I have been saying all week long. All week long, I have been saying, take it out and I will vote for it. Take the money out and I will vote for it. But they didn't respect me, and they didn't respect other people, so they didn't respect the American people. And they still brought it to the rule to the floor anyways. So here we are. So I'm at home. Other members of Congress are at home. Some are in Washington. And we're, again, not getting anything done. And we have the September 30th funding deadline coming up. Now, here's my issue. This is what I don't understand. Just because there are members in our conference that are in red districts and they really want to send money to Ukraine, but they don't want their districts to know that they voted to send money to Ukraine, or they don't want to get beat up about it, doesn't mean that I have to commit the sin with them. You see, I don't have to vote yes and cover up the garbage, the America Last garbage that they want to do just to help them get by with it. And that's where I'm really angry this morning. So I don't really care what anyone has to say at this point. You sent me home yesterday. You disrespected my views. You disrespected America's views. You disrespected everybody that is sick and damn tired of funding foreign wars while our border is being invaded. Guess what? There's some news this morning. Here's how bad it is. Not only are thousands and thousands of people flooding in to Eagle Pass, Texas, the Biden DHS, this is news out, I just read this, they let 200,000 illegal immigrants, they didn't let them in the country by a train, like you saw the videos of the trains coming through Mexico. No, that wasn't it. They didn't come up through buses that the cartels own, coming to our border and then running across the border. No. 200,000 flew into our country. They came by plane. They bought a plane ticket from their home country and they flew into 43 cities. And guess what? Here's the kicker. You're not going to believe this. It happened on an app that the Biden administration has. They were able to come in our country illegally by registering on a Biden administration app. That's how they did it. This is how damn bad it is. We have people coming in, planes, trains, automobiles, and boats, illegally invading America. And we have members of Congress that are so dead set on a war in Ukraine, which doesn't even border our country, which is across the Atlantic Ocean, is over in Europe, that they refuse to take $300 million out of our defense bill. No, we can't address the border situation. So yesterday we have Zelensky in the Capitol, standing in the Capitol in Washington, D.C., and they had to bring that bill to the floor with $300 million in it. And they wanted me to vote for it. Hell no. And I'm glad I'm back home because I don't really want to talk to anybody right now. This is pathetic. This is the most America Last pathetic thing I've ever seen. And I'm furious about it. I'm so mad about it. I'm standing here going live on Twitter telling the world. I hope everyone knows how sick and damn tired I am of it. I have helped. I have donated. I have fought for the Republican agenda. I have stood by everyone. But when it comes to this, I've told them all year long, I'm not voting for your stupid war with Russia. There should be a peace treaty in that country right now. I'm not voting to murder more people in one of the most corrupt countries on earth. Put America first. Our country is being invaded. We can't even impeach Mayorkas. Can you believe that? We can't even impeach Mayorkas. We should be impeaching Mayorkas. We should be impeaching Biden over the border. Can't even do that. But we have members of Congress, Republicans, that with very red districts, that are so dead set on they got to send money to Ukraine, they don't want it taken out of the defense bill. That's where it sits. Everybody's going to be mad at me for saying all of this out loud to the public, but I really do not care. Let me explain why. I got elected from this district, the one I'm standing in right now in Georgia's 14th district. And when I walk out of my house and I go anywhere I go in my district, you know what they say to me? Thank you, Marjorie. Thank you. You know what else happens elsewhere in the country? They say, thank you, Marjorie. Americans are sick and tired of the America Last Washington, D.C. federal government machine that serves the rest of the world and tells Americans to go F themselves. And then they tell Americans to pay for it. Enough of this garbage. It needs to end right now. Here, I'll give you another little story. Yesterday, when I was getting on the airplane in Washington, getting on my flight, and I sat down in my seat, another member of Congress came up to me and was mad at me for voting no against the rule on the defense bill. So I very loudly told him in front of everyone on the plane, if you want to vote for it, put it in a separate bill. You vote for the money to Ukraine. I'm not voting for it. Absolutely not voting for it. I don't care what it's in. I'm not voting for it. Not voting for it. And when he went by, guess what? Everyone around me said, thank you. I support you. Thank you. And then a couple of people got up and took pictures with me. So for those of you in Washington that are so thick-headed and so America last that you think that we have to give in and vote for crap in these big bills, because the September 30th deadline is coming, I'm going to tell you right now, I don't give a damn. We should have been in Washington getting our work done weeks ago. We should be in Washington right now getting our work done. And you want to know something else? You should respect members of Congress like me, because we're working for the American people. And when we say we are not voting for money to Ukraine, and we don't care if Zelensky's standing in the Capitol in his stupid green jumpsuit and he can't wear a suit and tie as he comes and begs for money from us, then you don't respect the American people. I have absolutely had enough. Absolutely had enough. I shouldn't have to do this video. I shouldn't have had to vote no yesterday. I told all of you the entire week. I told you in conference. I told the press. I told you to your face in meetings. I posted it on social media. I told you nonstop. I'm not voting for this. Secondly, we have a weaponized government. A weaponized government. The Department of Justice is using its power to politically persecute its political enemies. And I'm not voting for that either. I am not voting for that. So if you want my yes vote, I've told you the entire time, not voting for the weaponized government. I am not voting for COVID garbage of any kind, mask, vaccines, new vaccines, any of it. And I am not voting for a war in Ukraine in any bill of any kind. I don't care how great the bill is. I am not voting for it. If you people want to fund the war in Ukraine, do it on your own. Don't ask me to help out.